Alrighty. Well, hello. I'm trying something different today. Trying something different. Always something different. Good morning, Alona. Good morning. I don't know if I can see. Oh, let me put this up so I can hear. Alrighty. Alrighty. It's Monday. Oh, Monday. Can't believe it.
I know.
Oh, it's just terrible. Well, I mean, Mondays are Mondays. So hopefully I have people's, yes, it looks like I have Wi-Fi, so that's always good.
Okay, I'm going to get something else, right?
Okay, so we've got some people coming in on Zoom. We're trying something a little different. Oh, I see some friends. I see some friends. I'm in my backyard. So welcome, everybody. As people are coming in on Zoom, I'm going to just give a shout out to my Facebook peoples. It's me, Deborah, from the Center for Enhancing Abilities. I'm out of the Bergen location, but I welcome people from all over, all our members. I think I have the lovely Victoria, I have the wonderful Alona, and I have the dynamic Jeter. My coffee. Hey, Caitlin, what's up? You know what? I've seen Brainy quote. So usually we start is we get a little bit out of our system. Today we're doing some science outside. Hey, Terrence, what's up? I don't have my Zoom number with me because it's inside. But as you can see, Cooper, you're either going to go in the house or stay on the whatever that's called, the playground. Oh, thank you, Victoria. Maybe I'll have to share it with people. So, good morning, Christian. Yeah, may the 4th be with you. I've got a little daily activity up there. Go check out the special effects on what to do. So, I am working with 2 different screens, and hopefully I'll get everybody on Zoom as they come in. And welcome to my friends. So the way I do science, yeah, I know. Go look on our Facebook page, Christian. There is, in honor of May the 4th be with you, there is a little science on special effects and how they did the 1977, is it 1977 film? I thought it was 76. I don't know. Hey, Douglas, what's up, man? What's up? Good to see you. I've got my flower mug in honor of today's science. So I hope everybody is doing well. I've got Alona, I've got Victoria, and I've got a little handful of people on Facebook. Jamie, hello. I know some people are still waking up and eating their breakfast. So I can't see as well, and maybe you can't see me. So we're going to be starting a little unit on gardening. I don't know how I'm going to work it. I've got to get some different cameras. So Victoria, how was your weekend? Pretty good. I see Adam's around, but I don't see him, so I hope he's well. And Alona, how was your weekend?
She says it was good.
It was good. Same old. I hope Starbucks reopens soon. Christian, thank you for asking. My weekend was okay. It was all right. A little stressful. I have a paper. I have 2 papers to write, and I'm behind. But that's okay. And I was very busy on one day. Hey, Katie. Doing some gardening, and some rotten either deer or groundhogs already ate 2 of my new planted bushes. So I'm a little angry, so I got to figure out how to stop them from eating stuff. I ran out of cages, so I have to maybe get some cages. They ate a raspberry and a blackberry. It was beautiful weather. It was, and I think today so far, so I'm going to take advantage. Today is a beautiful day as well in the neighborhood. Now, I just want to give a brief explanation before we start with our science. Today's, for the Bergen Center, our schedule is a little different because it's Cinco de Mayo on Tuesday, and we had to shift a couple of things around, and I wanted to make sure we got at least one wellness class in there. So if you're joining me, no lunch bunch today, don't cry. Come in anyway. We're going to be doing wellness, but you can bring some art materials. You can bring paper and markers, and we're going to turn it into an art class as well. So I really hope people come in. It's not like I'm going to be making you do all these crazy poses and stuff like that. But some people can do that, and some people are going to be doing more of an art element. So welcome, welcome. And this is the first time I'm doing science on Zoom. So we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes. So today's schedule a little different. And today we're going to be talking about little simple hacks to get your garden starting. Who here does gardening? Yes, well, I do know there are some natural. I could ask Brian. I know he's busy. I have gardened before, and sometimes deer and groundhogs are very, very smart. They're very hard to outsmart. They're really intelligent. So you could plant certain kinds of plants. They just like certain things. And usually my herbs, they leave alone the bulk of my herbs, but stuff like that. Christian does gardening. Excellent. Victoria, do you do any gardening? Yes, Victoria does some gardening. Anybody else? Or you like to watch other people do gardening? To do it. So we're going to talk about some things you can use around the house to maybe help you get... Oh no, I didn't have my seeds. Where are my seeds? I'll plant my cucumbers. My seeds, I left some seeds inside, and I'm not going to leave you to go get my seeds. Oh well. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about is the type of plants. I'm going to be talking about herbs and a little bit about vegetables. So I have an herb garden, and I'm going to stand up a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see it. Whoops. Alrighty, you can hear the birds. So behind me is my herb garden, and maybe Zoom people I can show. See, you can see a little bit behind me. I've got a rock garden, and I just started planting some other things, so not to make you all dizzy. And maybe I'll leave that down. And for Facebook people, I don't want to make you all dizzy. You just redid your tomatoes and strawberry plants yesterday, and your parents did most of the manual work. Well, see, you're very smart. You're very smart to do that. Make them do the work. That's the way I look at it. So when you're that we might need to do a garden, and let's see, does anybody know where the word, I'm going to sit down because it's going to be bad for my knees. Does anybody, I'm a little disorganized today. Does anybody know where, let me admit that, it's a little tricky. Does anybody know where the word garden comes from? Does anybody know where the word garden comes from? If you're a language person, you might be into it. I don't know. I'm going to let your favorite animal has to be the red panda. Wow, you've got fancy animals. My favorite animals, I don't know. I like cats, I like chipmunks, I like things around. So, hey, Katie, welcome. So garden, or gardine, I guess, is Anglo. I guess it comes from French, jardin, which means enclosure or enclosed space. So that's what we're working on here. All right. So we've got anybody who here on Zoom's got a little garden. Who here's got a garden? Katie's got one, I can see. All righty. It's hard for me to see. And Victoria. All righty. So now we know an enclosed space in English. Here's an interesting tidbit. You know what enclosed space in English we usually refer to it as? You've got one usually in the back of your house. Yard. That's what we use it. But garden means enclosure. Didn't know that. Alrighty. And gardens can be composed of natural and man-made or artificial elements. So can somebody give me, maybe Zoom people, can somebody give me give me an example of a natural element in a garden. What do you think? Katie, you want to give me one?
Flowers.
Yeah, the plants themselves, flowers or plants. What else might you see in a garden? Anybody? That's a natural element. What was it, Katie?
Corn.
Corn. You might have vegetables growing in there. I never have that much luck with vegetables. I do have some cucumbers that I started. But yeah, vegetables, corn, cucumbers, pumpkins. Usually I have a lot of good luck with peppers. Alrighty, so we've got some flowers, plants, anything else? Soil. Jamie said soil. Yeah, the dirt itself. The dirt itself. So usually, who here likes getting their fingers dirty? I'm just curious. No one's raising their hands. What might you wear not to get your hands or your fingernails dirty? Anyone? Hey, Alex, what's up? Good to see you. Flora and fauna. Gloves. Yes, Katie. Yeah, so Caitlin also was saying not only in addition to our plants, there might be some animals that are chilling out. I don't know. Maybe some of you have chickens. I don't know. Does anybody here have chickens? No? I think they're a lot of work. I don't know. We have gloves. So gloves. Good job. Caitlin, Katie. Gloves. So if you do not want to get your hands dirty, you're going to wear gardening gloves, or you can wear plastic gloves, or I wouldn't wear mittens. I wouldn't do that. So yeah, so one of the things that we do have to work with the exception of maybe plants that grow in water, and that we can do. So sorry everybody, I'm having some technical issues because I'm outside and I've got Zoom and I've got Facebook, so it's making me nuts. Ducklings, nice. Ducklings are cute. So, can anybody give me an unnatural or an artificial item that you might find in the garden? Anyone? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
A fake flower.
A flake flower. Yeah, you could totally have plastic plants. Totally. I don't think you guys can see. I don't know if you can see it in mine, but you might have maybe a plastic bird bath or something like that. Hello, I see Adam is back. You might have something like that. Who here has ever seen a fairy garden? Has anybody? Fencing. Very good. Somebody said you might have fences or wire to keep out those groundhogs and deer. That's how I usually do it. Furniture, birdhouses, yeah. Anybody here ever seen a fairy garden? No? Okay. Maybe I'll post some on our Google Classroom so you can see some ideas. They're a lot of fun. You can make a little house, and you can just do them in your yard. Maybe that's next week. We can do that. I have a fairy garden in my backyard as well. Do I get fairies? I don't know. So we got a few ideas. So I want to know, what things have you already what things have you planted in the past? I
think we did daisies.
Daisies. So Katie, are you more of a flower person? Whoa. Are you more of a flower person? Yeah, you like more flowers. Have you ever planted herbs? They can have flowers, but something that you might put.
We planted beans with Justin at the program.
Yeah, we might plant some vegetables, and they also have flowers too. That's how they pollinate, or that's how they make more. That's how they're going to get vegetables. So Katie has done flowers. Today we're not going to talk so much about flowers. We're going to be talking about herb plants. So plants that would have flowers maybe, but they're a little bit more like they're a plant. They're not necessarily a shrub, but you can actually smell them and you can taste them. You can eat them. So we're going to go through, and you guys are... Tomatoes, yes, tomatoes. Does anybody know if a tomato is a fruit or a vegetable? It is a fruit. Very good, very good. And I have, it is a fruit.
But they use it as a vegetable.
Yes. It has to do with the what do you want to call it? The object, the tomato itself, and how it's classified. So we'll have to look up that. We saw deer. Oh, yeah, deer are everywhere. Deer are everywhere. You know, when I was growing up, I never saw a deer until I was like 25, and then I saw a deer out in the wild. And now I'm like, I walk out my yard and they're like asking for my car keys. They've really had a big comeback. So we're going to talk a little bit about herb plants, and I'm going to post something up on, oops, John, somebody's trying to get in. I'm going to post a lesson on Google Classroom. If you can't get it and you'd rather me email it to you, let me know, because what I'm going to ask you guys to do is to design a garden. That's what I'm going to ask you to do. So even if you're not going to go out and do a garden, you can design one. So, hey, Dave, what's up, man? What's up? So we've got Terrence, we've got Katie, we've got Dave, we've got Victoria, we've got Adam, we've got Alona, we've got, I think I said Terrence, Caitlin, Jamie, Christian. We've got a whole crew. We've got a whole crew here. So today I'm a little bit more disorganized because, as you can hear, I'm in my yard. So like a lot of stuff is all over the place, and I'm switching my schedule. And I didn't get a good night's sleep. Alrighty, there we go. I got somebody else. I see a handsome face. So cooking spices. So yeah, spices are usually like a seed, or usually that's what it is, or sometimes like the nuts, and the plant itself is what the leaves are, what we call herbs. Whoops, I lost my bookmark. So I'm gonna read you guys a list of herbs that you might want to plant if you were doing this. Now, do you have to put herbs? Here's my question. Do you have to put herbs in an outside garden? What do you think? What do you think? I heard somebody saying no.
No.
No, you can do a small container garden. You can get a little plant. You can get, I don't know, you can get lots of stuff. There we go. I see that handsome face now. There we go. I see lots of handsome and beautiful faces this morning. It's a Monday. It's a Monday. It's a Monday. And we're going into 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's week 8.
Week 8. We start week 8. Well, when will it end? When will it end?
I don't know, but we find out. We find out today.
We do find out today whether or not, whether we find out schools are going to come back. I know that's the case. So we'll get an idea. But hey, we've been working on this every week. We've been talking about our social, emotional beings, so we can handle it. We can handle whatever we've got, right? So, I want to talk to you about herbs today, and it doesn't really help because usually I would bring them in, and we can't smell them. But what I want you to do is, I could maybe bring you some leaves and you could take a look, but I want to go over some that I think are really important. Because you might, now that some stores are opening, you might take a trip to a garden store, which was where I was this weekend. And I'm going to give you the names of some plants, and you are going to tell me if you've heard of them, if you've ever eaten them, and if you like their smell or taste. You ready? You ready? So, lavender. Lavender.
Yes.
Alrighty, good. Any herb garden I think worth its weight is lavender. So hold on. Okay. Alrighty. So a little different, So I'm going to be kind of coming and going a little bit. I love the smell. So I'm going to show you what a lavender leaf looks like. And there's different types of lavenders, which have different kinds of leaves. But the general lavender, you guys are going to see it. It's like a little teeny weeny leaf. But they make a lot of them. Okay? On one little stem. I didn't want to butcher the whole plant. So Katie says she has heard of lavender. She has heard of lavender and she has smelled it. Have you ever eaten it? Have you ever eaten lavender? Yes, you can eat lavender. You can make lavender tea. Dave's like, no way. I'm staying away from that. You can eat it. You can eat it. Or you could make a tea out of it. I don't particularly like the flavor. It tastes a little antiseptic to me, meaning it tastes like a cleanser. One time I went to a bar and I got a lavender martini. And it was terrible. It was terrible. But I was drinking that because it cost me like $20 for the drink. So I was going to drink that. So lavender. Who here has smelled lavender? It has a very distinctive smell. Katie remembers it. Yes, Dave remembers it. We bring it in a lot. Yes, yes. Lavender is very calming, is exactly correct, Katie. So if you are making one of the reasons why I like herb gardens, they're great sensory gardens. Because you can get the plants and you can leave them in your kitchen. You can put them in little pots. And the smells, kind of either relax us. They get our brains going. They're very interesting. So lavender is pretty easy to grow in a container, in a pot. You can put it in the ground. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like that one. And you can eat it. Parsley. Does anybody here know what parsley is? Do you? Okay, Dave knows. Katie, have you ever eaten parsley?
No, but I know what it is.
You probably have eaten parsley and you just don't realize it. I gotta try that, Leona. I gotta try the lavender ice cream. I just don't like it from a taste, but maybe I haven't had the right one.
Yeah.
Maybe I haven't had the right one. So parsley, believe it or not, you can grow it in your yard. The smell is okay. The smell is okay. But I don't know who this is.
Remakes it.
Let me see. Oh, okay. Hey, Kenny. Kenny. Excellent, Kenny. What a nice surprise, man. What a nice surprise. It's me, Deborah. I haven't seen you in a while. So we're talking a little bit about, and I'm battling birds and things like that. So it's making my class a little different today. So you guys are, what was Caitlin saying? Smelt it once, and it's a wonderful thing. Yes, lavender can be very calming for women during those special times. Yeah. So parsley is great for a culinary or a cooking garden. But you can use both, and it comes in all different varieties. Let's see. They say lemon balm. It's all right. Let me see. I want to pick something else that you guys like. What about basil? Or basil? I don't know. I say basil. Who here has had basil? I see Victoria. I think Adam has said it. Katie and Dave. Maybe Kenny too. Alona, maybe you've had it. I love it. My basil's in a little container up there, so I'm not going to run and get it. But I've been having a little bit of problem. I think little bugs have been eating it or it got too wet. So basil. Who here likes the smell of basil? Ooh, I love the smell of basil. It's great to keep in a sensory garden because it does have, Victoria, it has a great smell, but it's also good for a cooking or a culinary garden. So we've got two going on here. Let's see. Oregano. Who here has heard of, Jamie, yeah. Who here has heard of oregano? I'm going to get you some oregano.
Me.
Alrighty, we got some there. Alrighty. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. I love the smell of oregano. Okay, I'm going to show you a little oregano leaf, if you can see it. They're pretty small. And they make really cute purple. Mine are usually purple flowers. They come in all different varieties. You can get Greek oregano, Italian. There's all different kinds of oregano. Or it's close relative. Maybe somebody knows marjoram. So yeah, there's that. So oregano. What do we usually use oregano in? Pasta, spaghetti sauce. So, what? Yeah, you can go inside. I got Cooper out here. He's swinging on his swing. Yeah. Another, but yeah, you can cook with it, but it also smells really great. So these are plants that you can use. Believe it or not, guys, don't worry. This will make sense. This will make sense. What about thyme? And I don't mean time as in tick, 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 tick. Who here has ever heard of thyme as an herb? Katie has. Victoria, have you? Anyone else? Yeah, thyme. And usually we do it with another herb, her sister herb. And I'm gonna get it for you. Oh, you guys can see my butt. Alrighty. We've got thyme and rosemary. Both are great for sensory gardens. All right, here's a little rosemary. It looks kind of similar. Its little leaf, I'm gonna give you here. It's gonna give you, it's kind of similar to the lavender, but does anybody know what the major difference is between the two if you were just to have them?
The smell?
The smell, absolutely. You can tell very quickly. Rosemary has a, what do you think, a spicier smell? A spicier smell?
The taste.
Does anybody know what rosemary typically, when we use herbs, sometimes they have medicinal or what we would call different purposes. So Katie said lavender is to calm, is to soothe, it's to help you go to sleep. Does anybody know what rosemary is known for? I love the smell of rosemary. Woo-wee! Let me put this in. Does anybody know? Or can you not remember? You need more rosemary in your life. Rosemary is rosemary remembered. It's good for memory. It's good for remembering things. So they say before you take a test and you're studying, maybe smell a little, yeah, Katie, I'm not making this up. You know, I don't know if it works. But if you have rosemary, you know, you have your rosemary plant or some seed while you're studying, it'll help you remember. And a close friend, I took a little piece here and I crushed it, is thyme. And there's lots of different thyme. See how tiny the leaves are? Yeah. Thyme is kind of like a nice little spicy scent too. And that's also very good for cooking. So far we've picked a lot of things for cooking, but also for sensory. There's one other one I want to show you. I've got like wacky ones. I've got borage. I think it's like a friend of celery. And let me see. Here you go. Thought I'd give you guys a break from, one of my favorites. Now look at this little guy. He kind of looks like oregano. He kind of looks like it, but he's not. He makes me think of Christmas. Could anybody figure out what it is?
Mint.
Yeah, or this one specifically is peppermint, or the mints. There are loads of mints. There's hundreds. I mean, there's oodles and oodles and oodles of mints that you can choose from. So that you can also use for a cooking garden, or you can use, or a culinary garden if we want to get fancy, or we can use for a sensory garden. All of these based on what scent have I really talked about? What do you guys think? Which scent am I focusing on? Smell. Yeah. No, you should be careful. So Caitlin wanted to say, you know, you should be careful. You don't want to buy poisonous plants. That is true. So I will say this much. If it is a plant you've never ever heard of, maybe you might want to stay away if you were putting it in your cooking garden. But typically, your rosemary. I've got another one. How about sage? Let's do sage. Let's do a little sage. This is an old, kind of a damaged leaf. Ooh, yeah. Here's a sage leaf. This one got a little damaged. And they grow very big and they get kind of fuzzy. And you can use sage as well. So all of these have like really cool, funky smells. Alrighty? So I wanted to talk about that because if you're going to do a garden planning, if you're going to plan a garden, I want you to think of, would your garden be like an eating garden or a culinary garden, or would it be a sensory smell garden? So if we were doing, what other plants could we put in there that you like?
daisies?
Yeah, you could put in some more flowers and things like that. You can make it a very visual garden. I like to combine, what I like about herbs is because they don't irritate our skins. Certain plants you have to be careful with. I have one over there called tansy. It'll like burn your eyes. Not cool. But I want you to think about that. Do you want more of a sensory garden that will please our eyes and please our nose? But you can also touch them too. I love to touch them. Or are you going to look at more eating gardens, something that you are going to pick plants to eat? And that could be herbs and what else? Somebody said it. What other plant would you put in there? If it was an eating... What?
Carrots.
Yeah, you might put in vegetables or something like that. You would put in your tomatoes. Hey, Hannah, what's up? What's up? So now our next phase, that I bored you all to tears, is, because I was going to try, I don't have a way to carry you around the garden to give you a tour. I don't have that impressive of a garden anyway. But what we're going to do is we're going to work on identifying. This is a basic thing where you're learning about what plants to put in a sensory garden, like for smell or for sight. And we talked about herbs and also a cooking garden, okay? So I want to know if any of you dig that. And if you need some type of plant, if you're really, really interested, but you're having a problem getting to the store, you're going to let me know, okay? You're going to let me know. Now, one of my plants... I said we work with dirt, okay? We work with dirt, okay? Dirt from the ground, but you can water. Can you grow plants in water? What do you guys think? Yes, I heard somebody said yes. I think it was Errol. I don't know. Yes. You absolutely can. So one of my peppermint plants, I dug up from one part of my yard, don't ask, and I put it in a vat of water, the roots. And it grew, and it will grow. So a lot of herbs that if you got from a store and you just cut them fresh on the bottom and you put them in, you could grow it in water. I've got something over there. Could you plant celery? Could you take, let's say you bought celery from the store. You bought celery from the store, and you ate most of it, but you saved the bottom, that bottom, I don't know what you got, like, it's like the nub at the bottom. Could you replant that and grow more celery? Give me an answer.
Yes.
Yes. And could you do it in dirt and water?
Yes.
Yes, you could do it in either way. So sometimes I get an old plant that died because I didn't water it, and I just take out the roots and I keep the plastic bin, and it still has some dirt. I just stick my celery right in there and you will get more celery. You can grow onions, you can grow garlic, you can grow all those things. So have fun. Katie digs carrots. You can get the top to grow and make like a funky plant. So, and potatoes too. Let's say, oops, that one potato that you didn't get kind of got lost in your potato bin. You could take that potato, put it in some dirt. Guess what's going to happen? Will it grow? It will grow. It will grow. It will grow. And you might even get more potatoes. So let's move on to, okay, Deborah, this sounds very interesting, but what can I do? So we're talking about gardening, and I'm going to quiz you guys. Okay, I'm going to quiz. And if you don't like gardening, it's okay. Just spend some time with me. Spend some time with me. Maybe I'll be attacked by a deer or another chipmunk that I had in my last class last week. Yes, he was going to attack me. I'm pretty sure. There was a chipmunk in my chicken coop. All right? So, does anybody know what these things are? They're tools. I like that. I like that. Good. I'm glad, Caitlin. I was worried because it's a little... Oh, my tools are dirty. My tools are dirty because I'm not a very neat gardener. So a spade or a shovel, okay? Now, if you do not have a spade or a shovel and you're working in your kitchen, what other utensil or tool could you use if you do not have a spade or a shovel? What do you think? What, Katie, did you say it?
A fork.
A fork? Great. That could really work well to break up a little soil in your pot. What's something else that you could use with your fork? It's a relative of a fork. Well, I guess. Spoon, I heard spoon. Yes, somebody called these trowels. Definitely. Those are the fancy words. A spade, a trowel, a little shovel. There's big shovels. I'm a short person, so I actually have a short shovel that helps me dig. But you can use things in your house, especially if you're working with little pots. Little pots. Okay, you could use a big spoon for your dirt if you don't want to touch it with your hands. So there is one of our objects. Another thing, Katie mentioned a fork, so I'm going to get this. I don't know what the heck these are called. Like you can use them for aerators. Sometimes there's hose and things. I guess this is, does anybody know what this is? Anyone? Tell me what this thing is. It's a claw. Claw. Sometimes we use these to break up the soil. To do that. I don't know what this is called. I am not like Sue, an excellent. A brush. I see somebody brushing their hair. I would not brush my hair with this. I think I would have tremendous injuries and tetanus, well rusted. Should you take care of your tools? What do you guys think? You should take care of them. Don't be like me. Don't be like me and let them rust. But these tools are probably older than my children. So we've got different, it's a perfect back scratcher. I would not scratch your back with this. I think you're gonna rip your back up. But this will help break up your soil. But Katie said it. You know what? If you've got like an old fork or you're working in your kitchen, you want to break up the dirt or move things around, you can use a fork. So what are we going to use for containers? If you do not, and I left it inside again, if you do not have a watering can, can anybody think of, I'm gonna, what did you say?
A water bottle.
A water bottle is excellent. You can use an old jar. Something else that I'm going to give you, I'm going to kind of plant the seeds, explain why we need a watering can in a little bit. So I'll let you think about it, okay? But excellent, a water bottle, an old water bottle, an old jar, an old can. There's something else really cool, but you have to clean it really well. Or else you will use new ones, yeah. Yeah, well, tool abuse. Jamie called me out. She said no tool abuse, and I abuse my gardening tools. I'm sorry. I treat my gardening tools terribly. I leave them outside. You don't want them to get rusted. You got to treat your gardening tools well. Don't be like me, okay? I admit it. So now we want to start planting. We could go to a store. You can even go to a food store. So maybe some of you are really interested in getting one of these nice smelly plants we talked about. Tell your family the next time they're going to the food store, even now, they could pick up. They usually sell them. But let's say you want to start from seeds. What we said that we could use an old celery, an old potato. What else did we say? An old potato, an old celery, an onion. We could use the a top of a carrot. We could use things that we already have with some dirt. What, Katie? Yeah, I want somebody to do that. I would love to see that. So you can take these things, and one of the other ones that I love to do is peppers, green peppers. Sorry, I got a big train going by my house. Bye. Bye, train. At least the landscaper stopped. You could take a green pepper or red pepper, whatever, a bell pepper. Cut it out, dry them out. That was one of our Google Classroom lessons in there. You can go find that. Go look into the science. Take it, put them on a paper towel and let them dry out. And you can try to grow them. I don't know if they would make fruit, but you can definitely try to grow them, okay, if you don't have seeds handy. But if you go to I think CVS has them, you go to the hardware store, you can get seeds, food store, you can get them pretty much anywhere. So today, what I'm going to plant is I really dig cucumbers. I'm going to plant some cucumber seeds, okay? That's what we're going to do. Alrighty, so you could spend a lot of money. You could, if you're rich, but I'm not. And you could buy gardening trays. Sometimes we start seedlings in the house instead of putting them directly in the ground. So I have some that I put in into the ground behind me in one of my beds. I'm not as good as Sue. Sue's garden was amazing. But you can use an egg carton. It can be plastic. I like these. I like the paper ones. Okay, so who here has eggs in their house? Okay, this is what I want you to do. When you're done with the eggs, you're going to take the egg carton. If you have the plastic, you have to be careful because the water won't drain. This it'll drain naturally, okay? So I have an egg carton, okay? If you don't have an egg carton and you have, who here likes mushrooms, or somebody in their family buys like mushrooms, or I'm trying to think, like peppers, some, I don't have it here, some, yeah, we got a number of people. Sometimes they come in a plastic container, all right? A plastic container, like usually a square container. You can use that too as a planter. You absolutely can, but you might want to poke a hole with a nail. Or if you bought other plants in the past, because I'm cheap, I collect them. I do, because I'm cheap. So here we go. Oh, there's a robin. He's going to poop on my head. So here we go. I have an egg carton. Ta-da! We use them for art a lot of times. So you're going to take a scissor, an egg carton, and what I like to do is I like to cut it. Ta-da! See how I'm doing that? I'm going to come to the other side. I know, it's so mind-blowing, Dave. It's so mind-blowing. Okay, so I cut it in half. So I have the rectangular flat part, and then I have the bumpy, lumpy other egg part, right? And now, if you put them together, ta-da, you have a tray. You have a tray for your lumpy, bumpy parts, okay? And you could, if you wanted to, if you did start to grow these, you could take them apart, and you can even plant the egg, if it's this kind of weird paper, you could plant these into the ground and it'll biodegrade. Plastic, you'll have to take them out with, as Katie was saying, maybe with your fork or your spoon, and replant them into the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find, whoops. Now if you don't have soil, you could just go to your yard and dig up some dirt. Dirt has different properties, as we were saying. I think Sue said dirt's really important. Or you could go to CVS, CVS has it, hardware store, whatever, and you could buy a bag of dirt. You could buy a bag of dirt. It's true, you can buy it. You could buy potting soil. This is garden soil. And what I'm gonna do is, it smells so nice. I'm gonna spoon it in. See how I did that? Or I'm gonna shovel it in. See how, guys, I'm doing this? Right? Now, Katie, my friend Katie, mentioned that we've done something like this in the past. Ooh, I do like chickpeas too. All right? So we've done this in the past at the center where we've planted different things, but this year we didn't get a chance to, because you want to plant early in the spring. You know, you don't want to wait too long. So if anybody plants something and they plant an extra plant, you can bring it back to the center and we can see about including it in a garden. Okay? That's kind of your reward, so to speak.
When we go back.
When we go back, not if, when. Not if, when. Alrighty? So if that inspires you to try this and to take a pit, a seed from a plant, and you just get I don't care, you could use a coffee cup, I don't care what you use. The problem with closed containers, meaning they don't have holes, they don't allow drainage. So if you water too much, it'll get very gloppy and the plant, it'll be too much water, okay? So that's why we like things that have holes in the bottom or that allow drainage. So this is gonna allow some drainage for us, okay? So I have this. Not too bad, not too bad. And what I'm gonna do is I chose cucumbers. It could be anything. Now you will notice some plants have very tiny seeds and some plants have really big seeds. Can you think of a vegetable or plant that has a very big seed? Anybody? That I've not planted. I heard pumpkin. I heard pumpkin. Pumpkins. Watermelons. Cucumbers are not too bad. Let me see if I can show it to you. I just dropped one on the ground. So there you go. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. But they are small and they can be very difficult. A lot of herbs like basil have really small seeds. So they're hard to do. So you might want to sprinkle them over a piece or get some help. So what I'm doing is on my thing, I'm taking and I'm just going to put one seed in each. That's why I like this. One seed. Oh, I have two there. Whoop, I have two there because my hands are too chubby. I don't know what that is. And there we go. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have one seed for each little compartment. And we're just going to stick that in. We're going to push that in, maybe very gently. If Katie doesn't want to get her fingers wet, she can use a very careful, gentle fork or spoon to just push them in just a little bit. They don't have to go far. And Sue has sent me some pictures of stuff you can just do in a paper towel as well. Hers have germinated, meaning the seeds have broken through and they've started to grow. So I'm just gonna put a little extra dirt on top, just a little bit to coat them up, okay? And then what I'm gonna do to get them started to grow, and I don't have it here because I didn't wanna have water with electronic devices, you're going to, because the only liquid I have is coffee. You are going to pour some water with your watering can or your water bottle, as Katie said. It could be a little pitcher. Or if you are very good at cleaning and rinsing it out, you can use, who here uses laundry detergent in the bottles? Anyone? You could use a big sodal. Yeah, you can use those as well. You can use those as well. But you have to make sure they're rinsed out really well. But those are great. Those are great watering cans. They're naturally built that way. And what did I do? Oh, did I leave it inside? Hold on, I have another planter idea for you guys. Hold on. Let me see. I left it inside. Hold on.
Hi, Dave.
Sorry y'all. I wasn't as prepared today. I'm sorry, I left everything inside. So I've got something else. So I bought also, since I was there, we're gonna show you one more kind of planter you can do. But here is a little tomato, right? And ooh, I can smell it. And let's see. And does anybody know where your tomatoes are gonna be coming in? So I don't know if you can guys see this. Here, there's a little flower.
Right on the inside.
Yeah, that's where the tomato's gonna grow. So as your plants are growing and they're getting bigger, you're gonna look for these flowers and you're gonna see that's where your cucumber will come out, that's where your pumpkin will come out. And what creature likes to hang out at the flowers in a plant? Does anybody? Anybody? They're small. A little bee. A little bee. That was very good. Like beep, beep. Yeah, a bee. A bee, Dave. A bee. They have to pollinate, and that's how you're going to get the fruits or the vegetables. They're very important. Sorry, it's a real Monday today. I'm like really off. Usually I'm like, my experiments are good. Today I'm all over the place, man. It's week 8. I got to get back. That's all I got to say. So,
Oh yeah.
I hear you. So so take a look. I wanted to show you that tomato so you could see the little flowers. That's where your vegetables are going to go. But it's going to take you a while. It's going to take you a while to get there with this. But if you have an egg carton, you've got some dirt, you can just go in your yard. Or hey, you don't want to dig a hole in your yard? Go to your neighbor. No, I'm kidding. Go to your neighbor's yard or just go to the store and buy a little thing of potting soil. And then, yeah, I'm not condoning stealing stuff from your neighbors. But, you know, you could dig a little hole and take some dirt. Some people say, it may not work. Well, you know, who knows? It's an experiment. It's an experiment. This is all experimenting. I've got kids like riding bicycles. It's very interesting. So yeah. So now, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? Does anybody can see what this is? There are thousands of them all the time. Now, maybe some of you don't drink this because you're healthy. What do I got, Katie? What do I got?
Soda bottle.
I got a soda bottle. I got a soda bottle. You too can turn this into a planter. So that's what we're doing today. Just getting ready, designing your garden with things that you might have. And we could talk a little bit about drainage, okay? So if you have a soda bottle, you could do this in different ways. I've seen them where these kids are looking at me like, who's this lady talking to? Who is this weirdo lady in her yard? You know, when I moved here, guys, this is, yeah, we got the time. When I moved here, I was very young and beautiful. But I was young. I wasn't beautiful. But I was kind of young. And now I can't believe here, I've almost lived here like 20 years, and I've turned into those old, weird, creepy neighbors that used to be like, wow, who are those old people talking to themselves in their yard? I've become them. So all the kids in the neighborhood are like, who's that lady talking to herself? I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to you guys.
I think a lot of people have.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of us are. So you can use a soda bottle. Katie, I bet you could also use a water bottle. What I think works really well with this is because it's got this kind of elongated spout. This is a Diet Coke. I'm not promoting one company over the other. But it's got, yeah, I think you could use that. But all of theirs are very elongated, and that will help us. So what you're going to do is, if you want, you can keep the cap on. And I've seen them people make hanging gardens. And they tie string. They tie string along the base here and here so that they can hang it. And they cut a hole up top here. And then they just put in soil and they plant it and they can hang these things. I would recommend you can have the cap on. I took the cap off. And you could take it if it's too much water and it can drain. But that's one way to use them. We're going to use them actually in a different way. We're going to make it into a pot that allows some drainage and actually to pull up some water as needed. So we're going to take this bottle and we're going to take a scissor. And this, does anybody here have any soda bottles around that they can try this? I'd be curious because okay, Katie, maybe try this. Maybe try this. Boss your brother around. And make him do this, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it, if I can. There we go. I made a little cut with a scissor, and then I'm going to stab it, and I'm just going to cut it around. See how I'm cutting around? See how I'm cutting around? I got two different okay? There we go. So the top comes off, right? And what you're going to do is, I think I'm going to make this a little bit shorter, okay? So you're going to work this and kind of play around with the length, okay? And just make it a little bit shorter so you can see. So now I have this wonderful, whatever cup or pot that I have, see? Okay? You can also, just an aside, you can paint with these, but... And then you're going to take the other piece. You're not going to throw it out. That's what I love about this. And you're going to drop it in. See how I have that? See how I have that inverted, fancy word?
Oh, yeah.
See how I have that? So it's the one with the hole. I see you, all right? With the hole goes in to the one on the bottom. Okay? Now, what you can do is, where's my bag of dirt? Okay, my bag of dirt. I didn't go into my neighbor's house or yard. And what you're going to do is you got to put quite a bit. Some of it's going to fall. And I think you could probably put a little bit of pebbles or something, you know, whatever. So see how I'm filling this up? Okay. See how I'm filling that up with dirt? Not one of my most impressive ones, okay? So just working with stuff, and there we go. And you could put more dirt in. You could put more dirt, and I recommend, okay? Let's see, let me fill it up a little bit more. Okay. There we, oh, getting dirt all over myself. Dirt all over myself, there we go. So you're gonna fill it up with dirt, and then you're going to take, this might be nice. I don't know what kind of plant we might wanna put. What happened to my seed? You could put another plant that's already growing in there. Let's say I have my seed. I don't know if you can see it. You guys might not be able to see it as well. I have my seed and I'm gonna plant it. Maybe I put a couple of seeds, and then I'm going to pour some water on top, right? And the water will drain. But what I can do is, everything I have always dies because I forget to water it. So what do all plants, not all, I mean, I know there's exceptions, but generally for gardening, what are the main things that we need? Who wants to give it? Who wants to give it? Somebody said here, we need, what's this stuff?
Water.
We need water. We need soil, water, and sun. We need water, sun, soil. Obviously, you're gonna need a container. So water is really important. Different plants need different amounts of water. Different plants need different amounts of light. Yes, most of the plants that we spoke about. See Happy Adam, I see Happy Jeter, just smiling, just laughing. I just love it. We need, you don't want it super gloppy where the seed is floating in the dirt. No, some things, it's usually, I'm trying to think of this tomato, a little moist, but not wet. Typically we don't want wet soil, like it looks like mud. That's typically not what we want, okay? Just a little bit of moist. If it gets dry, where it's cracked or it's hard, you need water. That's a little bit too much. That's generally just a general rule. So what I like about this little project here, I'm gonna take that in there. I always forget to water stuff. Or if you water too much and it sits in the pot and everything dies and the plant gets mushy and yucky. So this will allow the water to drain in the bottom. But what also can happen when you use these, you can fill water in the bottom, right? You can fill water in the bottom, and as the soil and the plant needs it, it will absorb the water from the bottom. I'm not going to do it because I'm right next to a computer and I don't want to short out my computer. But I can fill this with some water, okay? So glip, 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 I pour the water, and it's got to reach the, what? Yeah. Okay, sorry, not rehearsed. But it's gotta be able to reach the dirt, so you gotta put quite a bit of water in there, and it can slowly absorb the water if you want to do that, or as I said, it will let it drain if you don't want to keep an extra thing of water. So those are things that you can do right in your house with things that you have to get started with a little garden, just to learn a little bit. And before we go, besides eating the food, is there any reason why we would garden? Why am I bothering to talk about this? Anybody have any ideas?
Feel good.
That's exactly it. Katie hit it right. She hit the ball right out of the park. They've done studies. Yeah, it's really to feel good. And it's not just because it gives you a sense of accomplishment that, I mean, it could be depressing if your plants die or some rotten animals eat your raspberry and blackberry bushes. But they have found that people who have taken care of, there's been studies where people take care of a house plant, actually gives them a sense of accomplishment. It gives them responsibility. It keeps their mood up because they have something to care for. So absolutely, Katie said it. we garden or we keep plants. You don't have to make a big garden. You could just have a house plant that you could grow. You could take a cutting from especially any of the mints, a lot of these herbs. You could put it in a little jar or a little jar of water, and you'll watch roots. Most of them will grow roots, and you could stick it in one of these things, right? And you'll find out that you'll get a little plant, and it'll make you feel good. It'll make you feel good, right? It'll make you feel good. So today, I didn't want to do something so crazy with a science experiment because it's the first time I'm doing Zoom and Facebook with science, and I didn't want to, blow anything up on my computer. But I think, did people on Zoom like it? You liked it joining in for science on Zoom? Okay, see, Dave was one. Okay, Katie liked it? Alrighty, okay. All right, good. So I will continue to do it. I do it for both, so everybody has different ways that they join in. I'm happy to do that. I just get an extra stand, and so you see me doing this a lot. Today, as I said, do not get sad. There is no lunch bunch today. There's a couple of new classes this week. There's a book club. I think it's going to be a whole new book. That's at the end of the week on Friday for a half an hour at the 1:30 hour. Lunch bunch on Wednesday will be back. It'll be Stacy and Amy will be running lunch bunch. The reason why today is usually I do Tai Chi or a wellness type of class on Tuesday afternoons. We are doing our Cinco de Mayo party on Tuesday, and it is a storytelling party. So I want you to join me for that. Who did that with me, that created a whole story last time? That was a lot of fun, right? You guys are leaving me in the lurch. You're saying no. Was it a lot of fun making a story? Oh, Katie's muted. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So we're gonna do that on Tuesday afternoon for Cinco de Mayo. So get your best hats, shoes, get your guac, get your nachos, get your non-alcoholic margaritas, do stuff like that, and join us on Tuesday. So today's 12:30 class, it's going to be a combination. It's a wellness class, but if you are joining us and you're not really into the movements of anything like that, you're going to bring paper and pencil, crayons, anything like that. It's going to be a combined art class. I say give it a shot. What else you got to do? Unless you're going to be outside walking and enjoying this day. And then, of course, at 2:30, we have music for everybody on Facebook only today with Tony. Alrighty, and then Tuesday morning is cooking. I forget what was going on at 12:30 on Tuesday. Oh, it's personal development on Tuesday. Personal development with Stacy on Tuesday. I think you guys will like that. And then Cinco de Mayo, and at 1:30 there's a skills group as well. So thank you, Victoria. Lots of fun stuff. So I was very happy to see all of you. I got to see some new happy faces. I'm super duper thrilled about that. I want you all to enjoy the rest of your day. Yes, and Caitlin said for years people have been using plants as medicine. Absolutely. Food is medicine. Food is what helps keep you well. Sometimes it helps us keep a little too thick, like me. But I want to see it. If you are making your own potted, if you do any of these, I want you to send me a picture. You guys know the drill by now. CEA2bergen@gmail.com. You can send it right away to me. I will always post your pictures on Instagram and Facebook so we can share it. And additional instructions and pictures and things and garden design will be on Google Classroom for easy access. Alrighty? So I hope, the sun is going down. I hope it's not gonna rain. But get outside today, enjoy, and perhaps I will see you later. Guys, thanks so much. Bye, Facebook peoples.